Welcome, Leanne. Can we invite you to share your thoughts on how the standards will benefit teachers and teaching assistants to work together more effectively, and why we have aspired to use inclusive language?
Hi, it's lovely to be here, and I think the ladies have already suggested that this is something that is very exciting. So it's lovely to have people who are joining us today to talk about it further. So thanks for coming, everybody, and it's lovely that you're here. One of the things I find most exciting about this work is that the ATA is leading us through a process that has been truly authentic. This opportunity for us to look nationally, which I think is exciting because I know schools have worked around how we can understand the roles of teaching assistants more clearly. And what has happened in this space is we've been led by ATA to work on the standards collectively across a national board. So that what that's done is allowed us as a group to hear what's happening across Australia. And I think that in itself is something that's really worth celebrating. I think it has three particular places where it can land as an opportunity for how it can be used best. The three things I see as it where it comes as a benefit to our community, our educators, is that it is primarily for teaching assistants and paraprofessionals, learning support officers, whatever that title is it helps them and us as educators to have this understanding around who are you, what's your identity, what are the things that define beautiful, excellent education around being that educator in that role, working with a classroom teacher. So I think it first of all sits with the teaching assistant and how they have an opportunity to learn and be a part of that. I love that it really honours and respects what you do, and it brings it to that national perspective, as I've already mentioned. I think the next level down, which is something that as educators, if we can be in a place of reflecting with our colleagues, this document will support you to have conversations with your executive teams and your leaders and the teachers you're working with around what is excellence for as a teaching assistant. And the third area I'd like to mention is I think what it does is puts you into a conversation in terms of the community, in terms of the families we deal with. It identifies you as a paraprofessional, a professional. And I think that's the most exciting thing, because we all know the work that the teaching assistants do in that space is highly valued. But this is a document that goes alongside, kind of hand in hand with that, and allows you to be seen as a professional across your school and across the community. So to me, I think as somebody said, it's a long time coming and it's very exciting. Pleased to be on the journey, and we've got some good people leading us through.
Thank you so much, Leanne. I really loved what you said about identity. That kind of matches with that, that value of wanting to value teaching assistants, and also a roadmap to excellence. And I think, as you'll find when Anna joins us a bit later, it does start conversations, and not just performance and development conversations, but lots of really important conversations. Leanne, did you want to say anything about why we've aspired to use inclusive language?
One of the things that right from the very beginning of the project that Stella and Mandy have really instilled in the team that's putting it together is that the language it has to be understood clearly by the people who are going to be using it. Now, we've just identified the three groups of people who are going to use it: the teaching assistant, the school community, and the community at large, families. So in order to have a language that is not exclusive to a particular group or a particular state or a particular way that language gets used in certain schools, what we've done very intentionally through the direction of Mandy and Stella is to make explicitly through everything we do that the language stands by itself. It doesn't need its own sort of dictionary to sit with it so everybody understands what we're talking about. Can I also just mention, although I've harped on a lot about it being a national program for Australia, and I think that's hugely important. Right now across the world, there is massive work being done in this area, and I think what it does is, again, situates Australia as a place where excellent education is occurring, and it's happening in your classrooms with your teachers and your families that you're working with. And what it's doing is providing a framework that conversation can have some support, some documents, some evidence, some understanding. And so I think it takes it to a whole new level. And I think having the word professional in there, it's exactly it. It's identifying a group of people sitting as amazing professional educators, and that is exciting.